Glenn Hawkes, a child psychologist, came to Davis in 1967 as Associate Dean in A&ES and talks of the growth of the design major and the establishment of the individual major.
Now you've come to California, I think, at this point. What brings you to California from Iowa?
Well, I had accomplished many of the things that I wanted to accomplish in Iowa, and I had this wonderful opportunity to come to California and really help develop the campus, the educational program at the University of California at Davis. When I came, we had less than 7,000 students. It was a small town. I liked that. I liked the opportunity for developing many programs across campus that we had an opportunity to do. Because we were free to do some experimental work, and it was a very exciting time in academia because of the, some of the attitudes about higher education. And
what year now is 1966? A very interesting time.
It was.
Yes. In time.
And we had an interesting administration. Emil Marak was chancellor during that period. Jim Meyer was dean of the College of Ag and Environmental Sciences, and that was the college that I was in. I was one of his associate deans.
Now, was Dr. Birch here at this time?
Yes, Glenn Birch had come in and helped develop university extension, and that gave an opportunity for some interesting developments.
What other courses? You came here, I believe, to start a department. You want to tell us a little bit more?
Right. We had in the College of Agriculture at that point, we had a Department of Home Economics, a Department of Ag Education, a Department of Textiles and Clothing, which had sort of not found their way in the typical view of agriculture. My responsibility was to try to put those departments in a new context, so we developed the Department of Applied Behavioral Sciences, which had responsibility for human and community development, which incidentally is its name at the present time. We also were concerned about consumers and their quality. We developed a Department of Consumer Sciences, which didn't survive. But we also developed a broader program in agricultural economics by investing into that program the responsibility for consumers, consumerism, consumer economics, which is still part of the program in that department. We also had a fledgling program in design.
Ah, yes.
And this was very attractive to students. And I remember being up on the 5th floor of Merak shortly after we moved in, because when I came here. But Jim Meyer and I were talking with Emil Marak up on the 5th floor of, which was an exciting event. This was a new building and you could see across campus. And we looked over at what is now Everson Hall. It was at that point called Home Economics. And he said, we ought to keep this program in design. That was Emil's view. So we did. We developed this strong program in environmental design. And then along came landscape architecture as kind of a trial balloon to see whether that would do.
I'd like to have you describe a little bit. Some years ago you decided that the university here was not meeting all of the demands of the students, and you came up with an idea for what we call now independent major. How did this come about?
Well, I think one of my strongest contributions, if I have to pick one, would be the development of the individual major. I remember being in an academic senate meeting right after I came to California, not really understanding the academic senate. And they asked, the chair asked, is there any unfinished business? And I stood up and said yes. I think that we need to have a major which an individual student could develop. This was not happily received. It was a little bit out of order, but it pricked the conscience of the academic senate. They sent up a committee, and we did develop the individual major, which has gone on to become a very significant major in all of the colleges.
What was the university like? What was the town like? How has it changed?
Well, the town was a very receptive university town. I remember, I think there were 3 houses for sale when we came to Davis. We didn't buy one of the 3, we built our own, but Davis was growing very, very rapidly, as was the campus. And so we were having a lot of growing pains and trying to develop something that was unique but highly significant. So we were involved across disciplines and department lines. It was a wonderful time to be here because you knew practically all the faculty. You got to meet each other in many different social situations as well as many academic situations where you could get together and try to solve an academic problem or take a new view of the world of academia. So it was a very creative time, and in my position as an associate dean and later on the director of a teaching division, which was a big development in its time, gave me an opportunity to contribute to that and to learn from my fellow faculty members. That interchange was very, very valuable and gave us an opportunity to create a character of Davis and what Davis was going to be like as it got bigger. It stayed that way to a certain extent, although with the size that we have, we've lost a lot of those exciting kinds of things that were evident in the 1960s.